Islam is one of the world's major religions, with over 1.9 billion followers today. But how did it all begin? In this video, we'll journey through the origins, rise, and global impact of Islam, exploring its history, key figures, and teachings. Arabia before Islam. Before Islam, the Arabian Peninsula was a land of tribal societies. Polytheism was the dominant belief system, with Mecca being a significant religious center due to the Kaaba, a revered sanctuary. Tribal conflicts, lack of centralized governance, and a strong oral tradition defined the culture. Despite this, the region thrived as a crossroads for trade, connecting the Mediterranean, Africa, and Asia. The birth of the Prophet Muhammad. In 570 CE, Muhammad ibn Abdullah was born in Mecca. Orphaned at a young age, he was raised by his uncle and became known for his honesty and integrity, earning the nickname Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy. As a merchant, Muhammad gained insights into various cultures and religions, which influenced his spiritual journey, the revelation. At the age of 40, while meditating in the cave of Hira near Mecca, Muhammad received his first revelation from the angel Gabriel. This marked the beginning of his role as the prophet of Islam. The revelations, which continued for 23 years, would later be compiled into the Quran, the holy book of Islam. Muhammad's message emphasized monotheism, social justice, and compassion. The struggle in Mecca. Initially, Muhammad's message faced severe opposition from Mecca's tribal leaders, who saw it as a threat to their authority and the city's economy, which relied heavily on polytheistic pilgrimages. Early Muslims endured persecution, boycotts, and even torture. Despite this, the Prophet and his followers remained steadfast. The migration to Medina, Hijra. In 622 CE, facing increasing hostility, Muhammad and his followers migrated to Medina, an event known as the Hijra. This migration marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In Medina, Muhammad established the first Islamic state, promoting unity among tribes and drafting the Constitution of Medina, a groundbreaking document that ensured rights for Muslims and non-Muslims alike. The expansion of Islam. Over the next decade, Islam grew in influence. Key battles like Badr and Uhud showcased the resilience of the Muslim community. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah, although initially seen as a setback, paved the way for the peaceful conquest of Mecca in 630 CE. Upon entering Mecca, Muhammad forgave his former enemies, emphasizing Islam's principles of mercy and forgiveness. The death of the Prophet and the Caliphate era. In 632 CE, Muhammad passed away in Medina. His death marked the beginning of the Caliphate era, as his companions sought to preserve and expand Islam's teachings. The first four caliphs, known as the rightly guided caliphs, played crucial roles in spreading Islam across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond, into regions like Persia, the Levant, and North Africa. The Golden Age of Islam. As Islam spread, it ushered in a golden age of knowledge, art, and culture. The Abbasid Caliphate, with its capital in Baghdad, became a hub of intellectual activity. Contributions in science, mathematics, medicine, and philosophy flourished. This era also saw the translation of ancient Greek and Roman texts, preserving knowledge that would later fuel the European Renaissance. The diversity of Islam. Over the centuries, Islam evolved into a diverse religion with various schools of thought, including Sunni, Shia, and Sufi traditions. Despite differences, all Muslims share core beliefs, including the 5 pillars of Islam: faith, prayer, fasting, charity, and pilgrimage to Mecca. Islam in the modern world. Today, Islam is a global religion with vibrant communities in every corner of the world. While it faces challenges like misrepresentation and geopolitical conflicts, it also serves as a source of identity and spirituality for millions. Efforts in interfaith dialogue and social justice continue to highlight Islam's enduring message of peace and unity. Conclusion. From its humble beginnings in the deserts of Arabia to its status as a global faith, Islam's history is a testament to its profound impact on the world. Its teachings of monotheism, compassion, and justice continue to inspire billions. Muhammad's role as a social reformer. In addition to being a prophet, Muhammad is recognized as a social reformer. His teachings sought to address pressing social issues of the time, such as the treatment of women, the rights of orphans, and the fair distribution of wealth. Under pre-Islamic Arabian society, women were often marginalized, and the poor had little protection. Islam called for the protection of women's inheritance rights and for the empowerment of those who were vulnerable. Muhammad's message, which spread as he gathered followers, presented a vision of equality, community responsibility, and social justice that resonated with many in a fragmented society. The Quran, more than a religious text. The Quran is not just a religious book, but a comprehensive guide for life, governance, law, and morality. Its verses provide spiritual wisdom, legal frameworks for social justice, and ethical teachings for personal and communal behavior. The Quran addresses a wide range of issues, from personal piety and prayers to the regulation of family life, commerce, and even warfare. The Quran's themes of mercy, compassion, and the oneness of God were revolutionary at the time and have continued to be a source of guidance for Muslims over the centuries. Challenges in early Islam. Political and social tensions. In the early days, the new Muslim community faced intense opposition, not only from the Quraysh leaders, but also from other tribes who felt threatened by the unification of believers under a single God and leader. The early Muslims were often subjected to torture and exclusion, and many of them had to flee their homes to find safety. Despite the hardship, the faith of the early Muslims remained strong, and their commitment to their beliefs, even in the face of adversity, laid the foundation for the later growth of Islam. The Islamic State in Medina, a new model of governance. The migration to Medina was not just a religious journey, but a political one as well. In Medina, Muhammad became a leader who established a model of governance based on Islamic principles. He created a constitution that governed relations between Muslims, Jews, and other tribes in the city, promoting peace, social welfare, and unity. The Constitution of Medina is often regarded as one of the first written constitutions in history, a groundbreaking document that established a framework for pluralism and religious tolerance in an era of tribal divisions. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of Islam. Please click the subscribe button for more historical videos.